back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Michael Drummond with the Fat Guys Media Podcast. I'm here with Larry Lacey. We're back here in my dining room with the wonderful with the light bulb out. So, we tried to take the mood down a little bit. You know, the mutant light in the bars works. Well, the mutant light in the podcast is going to work for our asses today. So, Larry, how are you doing this week?
Man, if I was any better, I'd have a twin.
That goes so many different ways that the in, the out, the two together.
I don't even know what the hell you're saying.
Well, your girlfriend might enjoy it. That's all I'm saying. There's a great Austin Powers joke at the end of one of the movies about that. So
I should probably watch more Austin Powers.
You should. So what do you have for this week, Larry?
Man, I'm still drunk. I'm trying to recover from how bad last week was.
It was pretty painful.
It was probably my worst week driving for Uber in like 18 months. Friday night I made $87, and I drive XL.
Yeah.
Like that.
Is that bad. As of midnight? Is that
no? That's from like 2:00 in the afternoon to like 2:00 in the morning when I'm like, I'm done. There's no surge. I said goodbye to the parking lot people, and I left. Yeah,
we did sit in the parking lot for a long time Friday night.
Right. And we even went on and said, just give me something to get out of downtown.
Yeah, and nothing.
We couldn't do it.
No.
They didn't even need a big vehicle. They didn't need nothing.
No. That's the night we drove down to downtown, down Cincinnati, hitting every green light.
Right. Yeah. Just talking between the cars.
It was horrible. It was horrible. I, too, had, besides the weekend where I got really sick, that was, I almost made more money on that weekend.
Right,
than I did
you actually tried this week to make money.
I tried to make money. We set out on Thursday night. We set out Friday night. Nothing. It was dead.
Yep. I have a theory, and I don't know if it's accurate or not, but I just feel like right now with everybody adjusting to the times that I don't think people were going out as much. That, or, depending on your city, you have a lot of big weekends with Halloween. Maybe people just needed to save some money, pay some rent.
First of the month came.
Yep.
Mortgage was due, rent was due. Sure, other bills and stuff come out. So there is a pay cycle that goes along with this too. People have extra discretionary income that they can spend. Maybe the holidays are coming too. So starting to think about Black Friday coming up and how I want to have some money to go shopping with that. And if I keep having weekends like this, there might not be any Christmas presents under the tree this year.
No, I will probably just have to take presents from your house on my way home after the podcast.
Well, I just warn you right now, they will probably be. Let me put that back. I just warn you right now that any presents you take from underneath my tree will probably be boxes wrapped with walnuts in them. That's it. Just so the kids think that there is something under the tree that is not going to be left with, they're going to be really upset with Santa Claus this year.
That's fine. I just need to get them and put them under my tree because the only thing that people care about is taking Instagram pictures anyways.
Hey.
Who cares what's in it?
Then you go wrap your own boxes because if I have to wrap the boxes, I don't want to deal with it, so.
I drive for Uber and Lyft. I can't afford my own boxes.
After last weekend, that's probably true.
All right, one thing I'd like to talk about this week, and this is basically just for us drivers here in Tulsa, is Lyft. I could not be more irate at the company right now. They're not wanting to pay their bonuses. You're having to jump through hoops. They offered a Halloween bonus to select drivers that if you did 10 trips, you got $100. We've gone 2 weeks past when we were supposed to get it, was still nothing. So, the customer service right here, it was bad before, but now it's just gone.
Yeah.
Like, you could at least talk to them on Twitter. You could at least try to get something. They just don't care. Like, I finally got a bonus, and I bet between me and my referee, we probably sent them 20 emails. And probably hit them up 10 times on Twitter. Mm-hmm. It's just, they just don't want to pay their drivers.
Yep.
Which is kind of scary because how's that going to affect Tulsa? Yeah. And that's not even my biggest gripe. My biggest gripe is that they just blatantly are committing fraud right now. They are completely lying. They told us that they were going to lower the prices by 20%, and we went from $1.50 down to $1.05.
Yeah.
We have documentation showing where they said they were going to take 20%. I'm not Einstein. I'm not a mathematician. I'm just a fat Uber driver.
Your subject is very interesting to me, Larry, but my coffee is much more interesting
Jesus
to me.
Christ.
So
This is on video?
Yeah. I want you to rewind that part of the video, folks, and I'll do this for you in the editing. But I want you to listen to it. I want you to close your eyes. Tell me if it doesn't sound like someone's taking a leak at that very spot. Now, if you all look at this camera over here, Larry's turning the color of purple right now. You can't see him from this way, but if you look over here, Larry's turning purple. So,
holy shit. Yeah, no. So we were being irate, and now we're laughing. But no, I mean, it's just everybody's being frauded. Mm-hmm. You know, and that sounds like a very harsh word.
Well, I got 2 words for you on why it's happening. Mm-hmm. 3 words.
Okay.
3 words on why they're not paying their money. Things are just going to crap. Justin fucking Bieber.
Oh my god.
They signed him up as a Lyft driver. He didn't do that for free.
No.
They're paying him to take a ride if they do anything.
Right.
So all those $100 things, all this stuff, no way.
Justin Bieber's got my fucking money.
He's got your money, and you didn't buy an album. You didn't buy an album. And
No, well,
the Bieber, you're a believer now because he's got your money. And that's where that money went, man. They did all that crap. They pushed to get that so they could sign this thing, and they put it out a couple days ago, and I almost just about deleted the app off my phone. I don't make any money with it. I only made $17 with them last week. It's not really even worth doing.
Just Starbucks money.
I've already got a gold membership to Starbucks. I don't need their gold membership to Starbucks.
No, I was just meaning that's your $20 to buy coffee with.
That just popped in my head. You're now addicted to Starbucks. And since you're a Lyft driver, you automatically get the gold thing at Starbucks.
So what do I need to show them?
I have no idea what you got to do.
I would email them, but they would get me back Twitter. After I have.
You should reach out on Twitter to Starbucks because Starbucks people are really good with customer service. Say, hey, I'm a Lyft driver. I just like to know how do I get my gold membership for being a Lyft driver through Starbucks.
I mean, granted, by next week I'll have it anyways because I'm just living in that place.
I have to say, last week, I don't know if we put it on the video, but Larry drank Starbucks coffee for the first time last week, and
the first frou-frou drink.
Yeah, he's drinking coffee. He's not drinking a frappuccino.
Put some fucking hair on my chest.
That's right. Or another afro on your head.
Yeah, that's another story.
That's a whole other story.
That takes back filler.
I'll get that driver's license and show it to y'all. But you've been to Starbucks unknown amount of times, and this is totally off the Lyft thing, but it is part of Lyft because Lyft has a thing. If you're a Lyft driver, Lyft partnered with Starbucks, that if you're a Lyft driver, you get the gold card membership, all that stuff. And Larry has been going to Starbucks religiously.
It's shameful.
I asked him last night on Facebook, how many times have you been going a day? And he told me I would rather not say. So
yeah, let's see. I put some money on. I did the little virtual card, got everything signed up so I could do online. Today is Wednesday. I put the money on there Monday night. I've already got like 5 or 6 stars.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that might be, not that it's giving you your money back that they owe you, and they do, but there is a benefit for you to have Lyft right now that you can, because sooner or later you're just going to hit the max stars, and then you can just quit driving Lyft. But until then, take advantage of their partnership.
Or we could do like we were just saying, make $20 from Lyft and just put that on your Starbucks.
That's really what that money should go to for me. When I get paid from it, I'm just going to put the $17 on my Starbucks card.
Right. It's like, do I feel like making a little coffee money? Sure.
But that's all it is.
Yeah,
that's all it is. And that's ridiculous that Lyft, one, they owe you the money for the Halloween stuff.
I just got my bonus this week. Today.
Oh, did you get that?
I got that today, finally. But that was for the referral, and that only took 5 weeks past when it was due.
So when do you expect another 5 weeks before you get the $100 from Halloween?
It's been 2, so yeah, hopefully I have it by Christmas. I mean, Lyft is it's just shitty. And you add, like I said, the biggest crime is the fact that they sent out the emails to customers and they sent it out to drivers. We're trying to be competitive with Uber, and I'm fine with being competitive with Uber. I don't want to go down to $1.20, but you know what? That's how it has. If they would have said, we're going to take 30-some-odd%, well, that would have been their choice. I would have just stopped driving. But they told us one thing: at $1.20, you could still squeeze out a little bit of profit with the fact that you can get a tip and you can keep 20%.
Yep.
by hitting your bonus. Now there's no incentive. It's the same price as Uber. Why even bother?
Yep.
Because I'll be running a Lyft ride and get an XL request that I missed. So for me, I'm just taking money out of my pocket to drive for Lyft.
Yeah.
So they need to fix it.
There's a good coffee bonus on it, though.
There's a coffee bonus.
That's about my only feeling on Lyft right now. And I literally, the Justin Bieber thing was just too much. That is nothing that relates with people who are older. And it's not that I'm old, but I'm 38 years old. I'll be 39 in January.
We don't want minors taking Uber or Lyft by themselves.
It's already bad enough. It's already bad enough.
Who are they marketing to? 18 to 30?
Yeah, I mean, and
if you're like Bieber, slap yourself. Shut the fuck up.
I have had some cars here lately that it's come on the radio, and they're like, "Oh, can you turn up this song?" And I'm like, if I have to listen to people sing "What Do You Mean" one more time by Justin Bieber,
right? Funny story. I pick up this lady on Saturday night, and she's got a 4.5 rating, and it's on Uber. Sweet as can be. She's a great lady. She's 22. That's a lady, I guess. I don't want to call him a kid because then I sound old. But anyways, I'm like, hey, so like, I have to ask, why is your rating so low? And people are like, whoa, that's a harsh thing to do. But no, like, I want to educate the passenger. And it was a good way for me to kiss her ass and get 5 stars.
Yeah.
So you got to do what you got to do. I'm like, I have to ask because you don't strike me as somebody that's got a low rating.
Again, from the Larry Lacey playbook, ladies and gentlemen, they're pearls. He's giving them to you. Use it.
Right. So I ask her, and she's like, I don't know because I've written in before and I've gotten my rating. She goes, I'm a nice person. I conversate nicely with my drivers. I'm not. I'm not puking. No one's gotten sick in an Uber. She wasn't a tipper, but that doesn't equal 4.5. That makes 4.8 in my opinion, 4.9. And she's playing music and stuff, and she plays Bieber, and I go, "There you go, found your 4.5 rating." And she just started laughing.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then it finally came out that she lives in Chicago, and I'm like, "There you go." Chicago has one of the lower rates in the U.S. And if you're not tipping in Chicago, they're probably rating you a 1-star.
Yeah.
And I told her that. And she's
Did
like,
she slam your
wow.
door when she gets out?
She didn't slam my door. She didn't tip me. But I told her, you want to improve in Chicago, you better throw those drivers a couple dollars.
Yeah.
Where eventually people aren't going to pick you up. I was like, if I would have been paying close attention, I probably wouldn't have picked you up either.
Yeah.
Because
I had somebody who had a 2.62 rating the other day.
That means they're a driver, FYI. Because if they're a 2.62, that's another little nugget. Drivers, because they're so linked to their account.
Yeah.
So when they request and it comes out as a decimal, so like instead of just being a 4.8, they're 4.82, that means that they're a driver also. So you can tell ahead of time. And then if they don't tip you 1 star,
how do they get to a 2.62?
They're a driver that doesn't tip.
Oh, shit.
That's my best guess, because if I pick up a driver and they don't tip, I'm at a 1 star. That's a dick thing to say, but they understand. They should know.
But a 2.
That's bad. They've taken maybe 3 or 4 rides.
I don't know
the math on it. But
I'm seriously contemplating. I guess since our accounts are linked, I need to take some rides with friends.
See, that's what I want to know, and I need to figure out is if your driver rating is affected by the passengers. If say they're linked, if you're taking rides and you're getting 5 stars as a rider, is that going to boost your driver rating?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I might even go into office hours and ask them this.
No.
I don't even know if they'll know.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, you can always email partners at uber.com and see what canned response they give you.
Right. They'll tell me about Halloween or something.
Yeah.
Something completely irrelevant.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sorry that the Lyft thing, with the payout stuff, that's just messed up. But
if you're going to do the work or you're going to offer the bonus, pay it. I'll give Uber that credit.
Yeah.
If they tell you they're going to pay you something, they pay you.
And they usually pay you on the next pay stub. It's not, as long as it's in before like Monday at midnight, they get you paid by the coming pay period.
And you're not hopping through hoops.
That's right.
All right, so there's this new product out. It's actually a service for drivers that it looks like they're trying to market with Uber. It's a third party, and it's called ClearBank. I know very little about it. I did email them to reach out to see if, I could shoot them some questions, do like a little interview. They said they're not doing anything like that at this time, but next month to reach out. Basically, what it is you should be able to get paid almost instantly that day. It's like a $2 a day membership. So say I go out there and I earn $60. I should be able to use ClearBank and get my $60 paid to me that day.
Minus the $2.
Minus the $2. And if I don't drive on Wednesday, then it doesn't cost me anything.
But you can't. I think that's kind of a jacked up thing that I would rather it be, because I already have a bank account just for my Uber stuff. I want the money put into my account, not have to go from one account to then put it into a debit card or however they do it to then I can get the money out.
I think it goes to your bank, which means then I'm giving a third
So
party.
ClearBank's the intermediary that transfers the money.
It's what it sounds like. Like I said, I don't know the nuts and bolts, just that it's out there.
Yep.
And people are starting to talk about it on social media, like Facebook and stuff. But the one thing that scares me is they have 57 Twitter followers. So do I want to give a third party? And like I said, I'm more than willing to retract this at a later date if it turns out great, they blow up. But I'm not quite ready to say, let me give a third party that only has 57 Twitter followers my bank account information so that they are have access to my money. And I'm guessing it's a good thing to compete with if you're driving Lyft, because Lyft should have launched that new feature, which I haven't driven enough for lately, to where you can cash out that day once you go over $50.
Yeah, and the next thing is it's probably just under the umbrella of what Uber technology already is. Right. That's probably what it is. It's probably just so new that it hasn't even, I bet if you look underneath there, the only 57 Twitter followers are the owner of Uber and the board. Right. That's probably the main thing there. So anyway, just something else for people to look at, things to have options there. I mean, I like the way Square does it, that if I have $40 in my account, I literally pay 1% of whatever's in there, and they immediately transfer it into my bank account.
Right.
I like Square for that reason. I think
mine just goes straight in. Yeah, I mean, it costs, right now I don't pay anything.
Yeah.
Because I just share my, I've got $3,500 worth of free processing.
Yeah.
Which share your referral codes on Square, and you can get 180 days, $1,000.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm grandfathered into the very first thing that they did, so
you're golden.
I'm golden. So it doesn't really matter to me. But there are times where I don't want to wait 2 days to where it takes to get it in. And if I need some money right then and I know I've got it sitting there, then I just say go ahead and transfer it, and I look at my bank and Bank of America and it's there. Now it doesn't work with every bank that way. It only works with 6 or 7 banks right now that they can do it. And luckily I have Bank of America, and then I have a credit union here in my home city that I use for my other stuff. So I mean, and they don't work with it yet. But if they did, I'd have all of it put in there. So,
all right. So, we're kind of excited to share some of the new things that we are launching with Fat Guys Media.
Yep.
The first thing I'll mention is that we do have a Twitter page.
Yep.
At Fat Guys Media.
Yep.
Fat Guys Media has been giving Lyft a lot of hell this week.
Yes.
So please join the train.
So Lyft, just so you know, Larry Lacy, Lacy, is the person blowing up your Twitter.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Fire me. What am I going to lose?
Yeah, $17 a week, your coffee membership.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care. Right now, Lyft needs to know. And somebody's got to have a voice. And if you have Twitter, I urge you, go follow at Fat Guys Media and tweet at Lyft.
Yep.
Retweet things. Like I said, Lyft has made changes before. They sent out this mass email that Tulsa would not be affected by rate cuts, and that we would be staying at $1.50. This was last August or September.
Yeah.
What happened a week later? They cut our price to $1.20, and all the drivers threw a fit, emailed them, and reached out to them, and Lyft took it back to $1.50. Said, "Oops, you're right. We said this. We're not going to do it."
Yep.
Here it is again, So reach out, use your voice. You can make a difference. Lyft has already showed they'll change. Uber's like, fuck it, we're plowing on.
Yeah.
But Lyft has showed that they will make changes when they are wrong, and here they are wrong. So get behind the movement, and if you want to get paid less, then just don't do anything.
Yeah. Lyft also doesn't have, when you compare Lyft to Uber, $50 billion company, and it's more than that now is what Uber is. And Lyft is still a small, minuscule company compared to that. They depend on us still. They do.
And Diddy.
and yeah. And so if we voice our opinions and we get a group together and we say, look, we're not driving for you anymore.
Right.
And we'll push this.
I might start a driver strike for Lyft. Shit. Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah. And it's not because we're making a lot of money with you all, but you're not going to make any money off of us if you keep doing this to us. And that's what we want to get across, is that You depend on us. We want to depend on you. And when you have our money and you're attached to friendship, only goes as far as its pocketbook in this situation.
Friend with a car, like we're their slave with a car, right?
Yeah. If you
Slave's a strong
when
word,
you
but-
start touching my money and my livelihood, even if it's just a little bit, but you don't come through on what you're supposed to do, or you don't pay me, our friendship is over. Right. And you will never be my friend again. I'll keep working with you, but I will never go beyond the call of what needs to be done to get my money. And when you start, and if it ever gets to the point where you don't pay us, it's gonna really come down on you.
Right. The biggest thing is the lie. Like I said, if they just went to $1.05, then it sucks, and I'm probably done driving. But that is what it is.
Yeah.
You know. But when they say one thing and then do another, like hell, I was so clueless. Like I took a Lyft ride. I was like, damn, that cut really hurt.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, I can't believe that. I thought that should be more. You know.
Yeah.
And someone's like, mentioned like a couple of days later we're $1.05, and I'm like, what? You know, so I went back in there and looked, and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
You know. But this is more about so we got the social media at FatGuysMedia. Tell us some other stuff that we got coming up.
There's going to be a new website coming out pretty soon. You can also look for our YouTube page. Facebook page will be coming soon. We really want to connect with our users and people who like to follow us. Excuse me. We want to give you all the opportunity. We want to be a voice for you all as well. You can see we do these videos, we do the podcast because one, we feel like we get along really well in what we do, and we feel like we have a pretty good thumb on the pulse of what's going on here in our city. Now, granted, we don't speak for every city, but here in the Midwest, we have a pretty good feeling. But with our website and the Facebook page and Twitter, we want you to tweet us your questions. We want us to tweet your concerns. We want to know what you do to get through the evening. How do you deal with having a bad weekend? How do you deal with disruptive customers? How do you deal when just stuff doesn't go right? What are the things that make you happy about it? Tell us. We want to know, what is your craziest Uber story? We want to hear that too. So when the website's up and running, we love the crazy Uber stories. We get asked 10 times, 12 times a night, what's your craziest Uber story? I start making stuff up just to make people happy. But, we want, the website will be a place for you to go. You can put your name in, put your email address in, and you can type out your story. And then maybe sooner or later, we might read it out for you on our podcast.
Probably sooner right now because we're growing. So we need the content.
Yeah. Lots of people are hearing about it. We're putting our name out there. For right now, don't unfollow us. I know you're going to see a lot of our name and stuff out there, but it's just because it's a grassroots movement. It's just Larry and I right now. And anybody who's followed us and pushed stuff and put stuff on Uber people, thank you. We mean it, and it means a lot to us that you help push this out. I don't ever expect this to be millions of people using this, but we want to be able to sooner or later not just reach the drivers, but also reach the riders and be a place for people to come if they have questions. Because as we all know, Uber is hard to deal with on customer service, and sometimes you just want somebody to listen to you, and we're here for that. We're here for you. We're here for the riders. We're here for whatever we can do. If we find something that we think works well for ride sharing, we're going to put it out there. And we hope that you can trust us enough to know that we're not going to blow smoke, and that we're going to give you our honest opinion about what's going on. So,
yeah, absolutely. Like I said, get us those stories. We'd love to hear from you. If you got something, I don't care what it is. Maybe you're a writer and you want to write something. Maybe you want to tell a story. That's fine. Let us know.
Let us publish your stuff. We'll put it up on our blog.
Yeah. You want to see your name. You want to see a video. Maybe you took a funny video that, while you were driving or something, and you want to see that on the YouTube channel. Let us know. Yeah. Just connect with us.
Yep. Cool.